So Elon Musk is already exposing Twitter, and we're seeing more and more of the snakes come out of the grass, and I thought we'd just go through it and enjoy, if nothing else. So I'll start this off with a little bit of a shill. This is a free article, so you don't need to subscribe. Go over to lotus.com to check this one out. Link in the description. As you can see, this is an interview with a Facebook whistleblower, Ryan Hartwig, who we did a long time ago.
Oh,
great guy. Funniest part of this interview is where he mentions the fact that, yeah, they do laugh at your memes before they delete them. Like, they find them really funny, and they're like, yeah, but I get paid to do this. Like, they don't have a choice in the matter. They're a third-party thing. But go give that a read. Otherwise, we shall get into the snakes at Twitter who are all coming out. So we'll get the next one here. There are, of course, leaks from Project Veritas that have popped up, and I love covering stuff from Project Veritas whenever we do, so I thought we'd enjoy it. I've had to cut these down a little bit, but let's enjoy this first one, which some lead client partner at Twitter says that Elon Musk has special needs, therefore he doesn't respect him, and also Twitter is not there for free speech.
That's some pretty anti-special needs bigotry there, isn't it?
Certainly is. Let's play.
Well, right now we don't make profit, so it's going to say ideology, which is what's led us to not being profitable.
The rest of us who have been here believe in something that's good for the planet and not just to give people free speech. Because again, like, these people really do believe in what we're doing. These are the policies we've put in place for misinformation or mislabeling media or whatever.
Yeah.
Why do you think this should be taken down?
Yeah.
Like, those are the questions they're going to ask him.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's going to be hard for him to be like, oh, because people should make their own decision. It's like, no, but people don't know how to make a rational decision if you don't put out correct things that are supposed to be out in the public. As an advertiser, as my business, is what I do every day and why I go out is like, we want it to be as fair and transparent and accurate as possible.
Yeah.
And if that means there's a level of censorship to make it correct, quote unquote, again, and what does correct mean? I guess like, it just kind of goes back to the idea of like, well, what is correct?
If we're implementing all these rules that there's, and Elon wants to dismantle them, then technically our ideology has led us to not making money because we're not making money. And Elon wants to turn it the other way so that we can make money.
Your special needs, you're literally special needs. So I can't even take what you're saying seriously. Targeting of types.
Wait.
You can read it.
Let me see. And how to protect yourself. Groups like Project Veritas are active right now. Is that?
It's like some group that's trying to just out the employees. Like they're trying to go on dates with them like this and record them and then go sell it to the New York Times and say this is what the Twitter employee just said. This is what's really happening. This is what they're telling us to not do. You're lucky that you met me organically because I would be questioning everything about you.
I mean, Project Veritas are the real goats in the world.
You should totally have cut that into
The Seinfeld feed, whatever it is. Oh, God, yeah. Oh, you know, they're targeting people like this date. I mean, if I didn't know you organically, I would be questioning you, well, he says on camera, to Project Veritas. Project Veritas? Who are they?
Oh, my God.
That aside, I had to include that because that is golden. I mean, I imagine like James O'Keefe has been thinking about getting that on camera at some point in his career there forever, and it finally happened. It's like they're warning us about you. Oh, are they? So there's that, but that's a side point. That's just gold. But the main point being, as he says, what we do is ideology. We ideologically have a position, and, well, we prioritize that over money. As he said multiple times in there, we're not interested in making money. We're interested in, well, propagating the ideology. I mean, literally get woke, go broke in a nutshell as well, which I find amazing. But then the open admission that, yes, our position is that you, the public, you and me, John, we're basically idiots. We have no ability to think about things ever, according to Twitter.
Yeah, we elected this guy as our babysitter, clearly.
Yeah, and he is going to decide what is correct information for us to read, because if he doesn't decide it, then who knows what might happen.
Yeah, he's going to be our chaperone through the internet.
Yeah. Do you think this hidden camera footage would be the correct information? Do you think he would show us this if he
I
had the
don't
power?
think he would, Cameron.
No, I don't think that would be allowed. I think that would be incorrect thinking and would have to go. Why? Because it shows Twitter for what it is. go broke company. And we have Elon himself who has seen this footage. If we get this link up and scroll down, Elon's sad. To be honest, yeah. I mean, also the like being like, I don't trust you because you've got Asperger's thing as well. It's just like, what the hell, bro? It's just mean, nothing else. We get the next one. We then have the next leak from Project Veritas from the insiders. I mean, I love that this is all coming at the same time. I know they're stacked with tapes of all these dates they've had, but it's great to see. And Tim Pool saying here, well, a great point. It's the fact that breaking from Project Veritas, Twitter employees confirms bias to Twitter, seems I was right, because conservatives tolerate leftist speech and leftists won't tolerate the right. Twitter opts to censor the right as balance. I mean, exactly the point he made in the chat he had Joe Rogan and Jack Dorsey and whatnot. It's like, look, the right will accept your nonsense and be like, haha, stupid, but whatever.
Yeah.
Whereas the left go, no, you're evil.
Yeah.
And must be deleted. I mean, you are on par with any Nazi group because you have said a thing I disagree with. And we can see it firsthand from this senior Twitter engineer. Let's play this clip.
Twitter is not doing free speech.
What do you
Elon
mean?
doing free speech. Capitalists, if we weren't really operating like capitalist mode, we were very socialist. Like we're all like communist. Ideologically, it does not make sense, like because we're actually censoring the right, not the left. Because everyone on the right wing will be like, bro, it's okay to say, you just gotta tolerate it. The left will be like, no, I'm not gonna tolerate it. I need it censored, or else I'm not gonna be on the platform. So it does serve the right. It's true. There is bias.
I don't know the two parties can truly coexist on one platform.
What do your colleagues say about it? Like,
They hate it. Oh my god, I'm at least like okay with it, but some of my colleagues are like super left.
what do they say?
They're like, this will be my last day if it happens. I basically went to work like 4 hours a week last quarter. That's just how it works for a company.
Yeah. How would you describe communism besides Twitter?
Essentially, like everyone gets to do whatever they want. No one really cares about like OpEx, like capitalists don't care about numbers. They care about like how to make the business more efficient. But in Twitter, it's like mental health is everything. Like if you're not feeling it, you can take a few days off. People take months off, they'll come back, but you always like do your best at any time. And that's the culture. And you know, we'll run the business as much as possible. Capitalists would be like, you gotta generate profits or you're out. A lot of people wouldn't survive that culture.
I mean, that is insane. I know we've all known this for a long time, but Twitter is essentially a leftist weapon that they use to shut down conversations, particularly in the United States, in regards to anything they don't like, so they can control the narrative and how everyone is allowed to speak. And you can see that directly in what he says there, just openly. Not only are we censoring the right endlessly because the left won't tolerate it, whereas the right is tolerant, no, also the fact that I worked 4 hours a quarter. He says himself, the last quarter, he walked 4 hours.
4 hours a week, yeah.
It's just, okay, like, that's not work.
Mad. No, it's incredibly dysfunctional and inefficient by the sound of it. Now, that I will put the counter argument out there. There is this kind of Silicon Valley culture where in order to attract the best engineers, you need to give them the cushiest working conditions and so on. But that is just taking the biscuit. That's way too much. And you can tell, like, that's why when you use Twitter, a lot of the time it's like, it does not feel like a hypermodern platform. It feels clunky in places, badly engineered. Well, it's because the engineers aren't working.
But there's also, we've seen previously, there was a guy who worked, I think it was Google, who just leaked the chats being like, look, all the new kind of engineers we have now, because of this culture, as you say, in which it's just like, oh, just give them whatever, means that the new people they have there are just taking the piss. Like, lots of people are taking the piss. And it meant that, as he put it, the people we now have employed could not build what we are standing on.
Yeah.
Like, they have no idea how any of it functions. They have no idea how to advance it. They're just sitting around twiddling their thumbs, apparently working, 4 hours. Meanwhile, the whole thing just carries on and they get paid and it doesn't matter. Why? Because it is an ideological weapon. They don't care about, as he says, the operating expenses. Burn all the money you want. The money's not important. Money means literally nothing to this company because it is not about money. It's about control.
Well, it's also worth pointing out that you don't necessarily need to re-engineer that business to be the most profitable, streamlined business it can be in order to turn a profit.
Things.
Right, exactly.
You make money.
You don't need to you don't need to make capital profit your demagogue necessarily in order to make the company work. But which is basically the dichotomy that he's saying. They're saying, oh, well, they'll get really oppressive and everything, and they'll actually require us to work properly instead of 4 hours a week and blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, they're probably not going to turn it into a sweatshop, but they could make it into a viable business without.
Could you please turn up for once? I mean, that's why he's hiring so many new people.
And that gives so much context to his repeated statements that he would turn their headquarters into a homeless shelter.
Yeah.
Because no one's there.
If we go to the next one, we can also see he did take notice of this as well. But there's also the point previously, which is the fact that he is hiring so many people already. It's probably to replace this culture entirely. It's not just the people and their ideological problems, but the fact that they are obsessive and all the rest of it, but also apparently just not working because of the culture they've built up over the years. But if we go forward as well, we can continue to see Elon, who has taken notice of quite a lot of things. And in regards to the fact that apparently Twitter is probably not worth that much money, as in the fact that the user base isn't real. So I guess we'll see here. So we'll start off with him saying, whoever thought owning the libs would be cheap never tried to acquire a social media company. Very, very true. And also love that he's taking on the memes as well. And we go to the next one. We also see the fact that, well, the bots are angry at being counted, he says. And this is in regards to the fact that, well, Twitter says in their filings that 5% of the user base around there are bots.
That's still quite a lot. That's still millions. Surely.
Yeah. But it's probably not 5%. That's the thing. And if they've lied, well, I'm sure there are consequences for that as well. So if we go to the next one, we have the fact that he talks about this, and he says, well, they say there's only 5%. He doesn't believe it. He says he's still committed to the acquisition. However, to find out, my team will do a random sample of 100 followers on Twitter, ... I invite others to repeat the same process and see what they discover.
Right.
And the thing is, there is a reason he mentions 100. Because if we can go to the next one, he says he got sent a message. Twitter Legal just called to complain that I violated their NDA by revealing the bot sample check is only 100. This actually happened.
What?
So the way they're calculating the 5%, it seems, is by hitting...
Take 100 people, or 5 of them are bot. That is absurd.
It's enough work for me. I only work 4 hours this week. Bye-bye. No more to do.
Wow.
That's and then him saying that 100... led to them messaging him being like, no, you can't do that, you violated the NDA. It's like, nah, I think it's worth it. I think it's 100% worth it to show that you guys are taking the piss. If we go to the next one, we also have the fact that he said this in an interview recently, and just everyone, even in the audience, the hosts in this interview he's doing, just started bursting out laughing when they can't take it seriously. Let's play this clip.
Said another way, the number of real, unique humans that you see making comments on a daily basis on Twitter is above 95%. That is what they're claiming. Does anyone have that experience?
I mean,
really? Listen, there's a bridge I'd like to sell you. You know, and also you can buy the Brooklyn Bridge.
I mean,
he's got a great evil laugh.
Yeah, he really does have a super villain laugh, but also I love how no one in the room could take it seriously.
Yeah.
Like, none of the hosts, none of the audience, everyone was just like, yeah, that's ridiculous. There's no way that's the case. And, well, because no one has that experience, as he says. There's also, we go to the next one, there's a statement he also made in this interview, which I find quite interesting. He said that he'll vote Republican this time round. So, quote, I have voted overwhelmingly for Democrats, historically. Like, I'm not sure. I might have never have voted for a Republican, just to be clear. And he makes the point, well, this is clearly not a right-wing takeover of Twitter. It is a centrist takeover of Twitter from the left. And the, well, far left don't like that. So who cares about their opinion, though? He also says, now this election, I will vote Republican. Because he talked about Biden, and it's not great. If we go to the next one, we can see a statement on Biden, which is just the real president is whoever controls the teleprompter. Because it is just a joke at this point.
Yeah.
We were out to drinks yesterday with one of the video commenters, and he made a great point. It's just like, who do you think's in charge? And Carl will occasionally say, oh, no, it's Psaki or it's Kamala Harris. It's no one, really. No one is in charge of that institution. I think the chap yesterday is absolutely right. Like, it's an institution that seems to be running on just inertia and nothing else. Like, no one's at the head there. I mean, he mentions himself, like, if someone, like, leans on the teleprompter, you know, Biden will just start reading out, like, A-B, exclamation points, asterisk, 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 as if he's just running on inertia, because that seems to be how the place is. And I think Elon's right about that. If we go to the next one, we'll see the fact that there's also this complaint about the bot count here. So Parag, being like, "Oh no, there's reasons for
Who's
why
the
we do
CEO
this."
currently? Is he?
Yeah, the leftist CEO is like, "Oh no, we got reasons for being crap," and Elon just responding with a poop emoji, just being like, "I am calling BS. There is absolutely no way that you can only count 100. If you, I mean, at one point, I don't have it in here. He just messaged Parag publicly, just be like, "Have you tried calling them? Like, you have to have a phone number to sign up. Just call the 100 people. See who answers. They won't." If you go to the next one as well, there's also the fact that this really, really does affect the situation.
Yeah.
So if you scroll up on this, there's an account pointing out that the $44 billion deal is on hold because it actually seems way too high for what is being asked for, because apparently like 20% of users are fake or spam accounts, according to that account. And Elon responded saying, 20% fake spam accounts, well, 4 times what Twitter claims, could be much higher, much being with asterisk around it. My offer was based on Twitter's SEC filings being accurate. Yesterday, Twitter CEO publicly refused to prove there's less than 5% bots, and the deal cannot move forward until he does.
Yeah, I think he's being very intelligent here because he's essentially dragging out the acquisition process, which keeps him in the headlines, which is good. It keeps Twitter in the headlines, which is also good. It casts doubt on Twitter's viability as a social media platform as well. He's being very canny. It's actually much more effective than just grabbing it and going.
Absolutely. I mean, he's sort of ripping it apart, and it's not costing him a penny because he hasn't paid anything.
And the fact that he's doing this in the public eye completely, the demonstration of, okay, how much of Twitter is real human beings is really good.
Yeah, and also you can see the pressure this whole situation gives. I mean, endlessly, the guys at Twitter, when they're there in the office, having this pressure put on them in the public eye, and then are leaking constantly to Veritas journos who are on wonderful dates with them as well. So that's also great to see. But the fact that apparently 20% of the entire place is, well, just bots, according to outside auditing of Twitter, compared to their SEC filings, then brings to the question of, well, why did you lie? And also, surely that's criminal? Like, surely, your valuation is based on this data. You've lied. You know you've lied.
Wow.
Or you've done the 100 bots, so then you can say, I lied by omission.
Yeah. They'll probably be able to say, oh, no, according to the best test we did, it was
100
5%.
bots.
You know, the fact that our test was laughably inadequate for the thing it was proposing to solve isn't our fault, Governor. At least they can demonstrate that they weren't in possession of that information, it seems, at the moment.
They'll claim, but it's obviously BS.
But the fact that this is happening in the public eye, everyone can see that's BS. It's not happening in some closed courtroom or anything like that. It's out in the open.
And speaking of a certain somebody who has a lot of fake followers, Joe Biden.
Oh.
Half of all Joe Biden's Twitter followers are fake.
I'm not surprised. He's probably got more fake followers than anyone on the platform.
Yeah.
Certainly on YouTube.
Sure, certainly in other places as well, but that's we can't talk about that. At least half of President Biden's 22.2 Twitter followers are bogus, a new audit has revealed. The audit, which was done for the social media giant by software firm SparkToro, found that 49.3% of the president's followers are fake followers, according to Newsweek. SparkToro has defined fake followers as accounts that are unreachable and will not see the account's tweets, either because they're spam, bots, propaganda, etc., or because they're no longer even active on Twitter. So just 50% of the accounts not there. But also just the fact of he's only got 22 billion. Remember how many Donald Trump had?
No.
What was it, like 60, 80 million, something ridiculous?
Really?
Whereas the new most popular man on Earth can't even get anywhere near that, even though, well, he's off the left and all of them are terminally online. They can't even be there. Even on the leftist platform as well. Leftist platform Twitter can't even muster up the numbers. And when he can muster up a number, half of them are fake.
Wow.
I mean, it is just ridiculous. And if we go to the next one, there's also Elon Musk taking notice of all of this. He's just like, so checks calculator, that would be 10 times more than 5%. That would be 50%, which is as bad as it gets. So I don't know how much this affects the stock price and how much he should be paying. But if like 50% of all the accounts on Twitter are just spam bots, surely that's like 50% of the valuation or something like that. It just shouldn't be there. So, I mean, again, as you say, masterful tactician here. Just dragging it out, making sure everyone can see the whole thing is a joke, and also getting the leaks endlessly from the staff constantly under pressure.
Yeah.
And
no, God's
love
work
to see
by
it.
Project Veritas as well, getting those leaks out there so that the common people can actually see how they're being manipulated online.
Yeah, I mean, we've known about it forever. I mean, anyone in the right-wing news figure has definitely seen this. But it's always nice to have an admission, upfront and open, that yes, we are scum. Thank you, Twitter bots. If you appreciated that segment from the podcast The Lotus Eaters, you can go to lotuseaters.com to get access to all the premium content we have on the site, such as Academic Agent's new book, The Populist Delusion, and the book club that Harry did on it. And also, if you want to follow what else we're putting out, you can follow us on Getter at lotuseaters_com on Getter. Thank you and goodbye.